Just for a moment, I want you to forget Homelander, Stormfront, or any soup you thought was diabolical. The real monster lurking in the shadows of the boys might be hiding in plain sight. I'm talking about a chilling truth about Hughie Campbell, a darkness that is covering his soul. It could consume him entirely.
You gonna kill him? We didn't bring him here for a fucking happy meal.
Hughie Campbell, the everyman with a dark side.
Oh, shit.
We all love an underdog, right? Hughie was that guy, the everyman battling extraordinary forces. But as the series progressed, it peeled back his psyche, exposing a darkness born of trauma, nurtured by addiction, and sharpened by manipulation.
God forbid I help you, because I always have to be the weak one. The one you have to rescue. You always have to be the strong one. You always have to be so much stronger than me.
Trauma and its lasting impact. Now, as a clinical psychologist, I see Hughie as a living case study. He's a ticking time bomb, a pressure cooker of unresolved trauma and unchecked rage.
Your promise isn't worth the piece of paper it's printed on.
I don't understand that.
Hughie's trauma isn't just the backstory, it's the foundation of his ego. The loss of Robin wasn't just death, it was the destruction of innocence, a violent break in the fabric of his reality. But it goes deeper than that. We see glimpses of a troubled childhood, hints of parental neglect, and an all-consuming sense of inadequacy that have left lasting scars on Hughie's psyche.
I spent a week standing by the front door telling Dad you'd be back, because why wouldn't you be? You promised.
These early wounds festering beneath the surface were ripped open and worsened by the brutal loss of Robin. This combination of childhood trauma and loss of Robin trauma has resulted in a complex post-traumatic stress disorder.
Robin? Robin?
A tangled web of psychological and emotional scars that continue to shape his thoughts, his feelings, and his actions. His brain is a battleground scarred by flashbacks, nightmares, and intrusive thoughts. He suffers from hypervigilance, constantly scanning his environment for threats, real or imagined.
Are you okay?
The descent into violence and addiction. His emotional regulation is just not happening, swinging between rage and despair with alarming speed. It's no wonder he turns to violence, even when he's not on temp V, as if trying to regain some kind of control. Now remember season 1 Hughie, who fainted at the sight of blood. That version vanished when he brutally killed Translucent. This wasn't just taking down a bad guy, it was the awakening of a monster. Hughie's addiction to Temp V mirrors this descent. It's self-medication for his pain, a desperate grasp for the power he once criticized in his previous passive way. But like any addiction, it consumes him.
And then you, me, and Granny are gonna finish this fucking job.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Manipulation and control. Blurring the lines between hero and villain, he becomes the very thing he despises, a blunt critique of the corrupting nature of power. And we see it in his actions.
I thought the drugs had fucked you up, Hughie, but this is you.
The calculated brutality, the disregard for consequences. It's as if he's becoming a dark reflection of Billy Butcher himself.
Yeah, I said, who the hell are you? How do you know that?
Name's Butcher. Billy Butcher. Listen, I was thinking that you and me should have a little bit of a chat.
Hughie's manipulation isn't just a survival tactic. It's woven into the fabric of who he is. It's a defense mechanism honed over years of feeling powerless and overlooked. He's become skillful at reading people, identifying their weaknesses, and exploiting them to get what he wants.
You know that feeling you get when you tip your chair back too far and you catch yourself just before you fall? You used to look like that all day long. Now look at you, neck deep in shit, cool as a cucumber.
This isn't just about outsmarting his enemies. It's about controlling his narrative, shaping the world around him to fit his needs, even if it means sacrificing his own moral compass along the way.
So what do you think? Pull a few strings, you know? Hook me up with some tickets?
Yeah. Sure, of course.
He's a master puppeteer, pulling the strings of everyone around him.
Hello, ma'am. We're with Bryman Audio Visual. We got the new router. This is Hughie. I'm Gary.
He uses Starlight's love as a shield, Butcher's rage as a weapon, and Mother's Milk's loyalty as a tool.
You want to know what's really messed up? In some ways, just right in that moment, it felt kind of good.
He even manipulates us, the audience, with his boyish charm and his seemingly good intentions.
Suicide, foreign death, homeless death, AIDS, crack, burning death, hypodermics on the shore, China's under martial law, rock and roll, I can't take it anymore.
The crossroads of good and evil. But these manipulations are far from being compassionate and non-threatening. They're calculated, they're self-serving, they're ultimately destructive. The path ahead for Hughie is filled with danger. He's standing at a crossroads, and his choices will determine his fate. Will he continue down the path of darkness, fueled by trauma, addiction, and manipulation? Or can he find a way to reclaim his humanity and fight for good?
Just remember who your friends and who your enemies are.
The possibilities are chilling. He could become a vengeful vigilante, a power-hungry tyrant, or a puppet master pulling the strings of global conflict.
Haven't we met before?
Maybe. I meet a ton of people.
Come on, man.
The potential for destruction it's massive. But perhaps the most terrifying possibility is that Hughie won't choose a side at all. He could continue to walk the line between good and evil, a morally gray figure whose actions are unpredictable and ultimately self-serving. The question isn't whether Hughie is capable of evil. The question is whether he'll choose to embrace it.
Hey, you never said you were sorry.
What?
For Robin. You never apologized for Robin.
The mirror of our inner demons. We continue to cheer him on, even as he descends into darkness. Will we turn a blind eye to his flaws, excusing his behavior because of his trauma?
Hughie, you've done a murder. Comparatively speaking, this will be a piece of cake.
So let's talk about the mirror moment, a simple yet powerful practice that can help you stop bottling up your emotions, something Hughie could have really used throughout his journey. Here's how it works. Each day, find a quiet moment to stand in front of the mirror, look at yourself, really look and ask, what am I holding on to today? Think about Hughie for a second. He often found himself caught up in emotions he couldn't express, leading to some pretty intense outbursts. This is your chance to confront those feelings head on, just like Hughie needed to. You don't have to solve everything in that moment. but acknowledging what's there is the first step. It's about being honest with yourself, recognizing that it's okay to feel what you're feeling and that these emotions deserve to be heard, even if it's just by you. For Hughie, a practice like this might have been a game changer, helping him navigate his inner turmoil before it escalated. The mirror becomes a tool for reflection in more ways than one. And remember, sometimes the hardest person to confront is yourself. But that mirror moment could save you from a future emotional avalanche, something Hughie learned the hard way. Make it a habit, and over time you'll find that this simple practice helps you live with less emotional clutter and more clarity, just like Hughie could have. Hughie Campbell is a mirror reflecting our own inner demons. He's a reminder that the line between good and evil is often blurred, and that even the most well-intentioned individuals can be seduced by power and corrupted by trauma. The Boys isn't just a show about superheroes and villains. It's a psychological thriller that forces us to confront the darkness within ourselves. And Hughie Campbell is one of its most compelling and terrifying characters. What do you think? Is Hughie a hero, a villain, or something in between? Can he be redeemed, or is he destined to become the monster we fear? Share your thoughts in the comments below and let's explore the depths of Hughie Campbell's psyche together.